Thanks for staying with us on TVC Breakfast. Let's shift attention to other stories now. Lagosians are known to always be in a hurry, trying to beat traffic, meet crazy work schedules and appointments. And the roads are always busy. No surprises, Lagos is the commercial nerve center of Nigeria.
Sadly, this bubbly city, popularly referred to as the city that never sleeps, has been witnessing high rate of pedestrian deaths in recent times.
Now, in many parts of the city, pedestrians often risk their lives dashing across busy highways instead of using the footbridges provided for pedestrian crossing.
This is so because many feel it's faster to cross the highway than using the pedestrian bridge, thus endangering themselves and other road users.
All right, let's watch this report and move ahead on this discussion.
It is a move by the Lagos State government to return sanity to Ikorodu Road, especially this point at Ojota. The idea is to prevent commuters from crossing the road and endangering their lives in the process. The move is also meant to keep traffic moving on the road. This intention of the government has resulted into long queues as people try to access the bridge.
It's just a sign of discipline. You know, Nigerians we're trying to inculcate this into the system, which is change they were talking about.
People, they die for a year, not they kill people. This correct government, then they follow on top bridge. Now correct government be this one.
But you are visually impaired.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I love it.
We don't have to wait for a critical accident for this thing to be. That's the change we need.
Okay, you try it this way.
That's the change we need.
But people are complaining about.
It doesn't matter. That's the change we need. Let's start it up. That's the change we need.
The idea is that the Lagos State government wants to safeguard lives of people that cross this road. But to some, it's a good development, one they've been waiting for. But to others, it's just a basic waste of time, and one the Lagos State government should look into and now.
There's no place in the world that people will have to queue to climb the pedestrian bridge. It is unacceptable. You can see queue. I've been in the queue for the past 1 hour.
Too bad.
Guys, you are waiting for 10% for malaria and everything to happen. It's not fair at all.
We queue for BRT.
It
is bad. Imagine a pregnant woman standing on that queue, waiting to climb the bridge. It doesn't make sense.
People that are used to Ojota, they are more than K2 and the rest. The consumption of people that are using it. Even this pedestrian system, the way they are using it more, it will get damaged.
What we need to do is this: give people freedom. We need to be free and behave anyhow we like.
Those that refused to use the footbridge were arrested by law enforcement officers.
I did not know that they did not cross the road.
Now look at they go before they home in a straight line. I see they go. They follow this way they go. If I cross road, you see me say yes across road. That would be a different thing entirely.
So the options are very clear: cross the road and you are arrested, or use the pedestrian bridge and contend with the huge numbers of pedestrians. The choice is yours. Dakbo Aruwa Joy, TVC News, Ojota, Lagos.
All right, thanks for staying with us on TVC Breakfast. It is time to talk about this thing. Now, some Lagos residents expressed mixed feelings over the compulsory use of the pedestrian bridge at Ojota along Ikorodu Road. While some consider it a welcome development, others say the bridge cannot serve the huge number of people who use that access on the road daily. We're now being joined by the Deputy Majority Leader of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Olumuyiwa Jimo. He's also representing Apapa Constituency 2 at the Lagos State House of Assembly. We also have Honorable Emeka Edimogu of the House of Assembly as well, representing Oshodi Solo Constituency 1. 2. All right. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us on the program right now.
Thank you.
Okay, now you have watched that clip there, and it is one thing that has made headlines the past week in Lagos generally.
All right, before they respond to plenty of questions I know you have bubbling, let's just take a quick break now and return with more. Stay with us.
Thanks for staying with us still on TVC Breakfast. We have with us in the studio Honorable Olumuyiwa Jimoh. He's the Deputy Majority Leader at the Lagos State House of Assembly. He's representing Apapa 2 constituency at the Lagos State House of Assembly. We also have Honorable Meka Idimogu. He's representing Oshodi Solo constituency 2 at the Lagos State House of Assembly. Gentlemen, it's good to have you on the breakfast this morning.
Thank you.
You watched that clip earlier on.
Yes.
Give us a perspective generally, what went in the House when you heard the outcry of Nigerians or Lagosians, let me say, on the issue of the pedestrian bridge?
Well, it is important to say this, that Lagos as a state is the hope of our democracy. It is not out of place that Lagos could be placed aside with any other city-state in the world. And virtually all ethnic groups in Nigeria, as enumerated by United Nations, that there are over 400 ethnic groups in the country. They were all represented here in Lagos. And virtually the 774 local government as stated in the Nigerian Constitution as amended, they were all present in Lagos as representation in Lagos. So for that, there is need for bridges, either pedestrian or any type of bridges in Lagos. But with the reaction of the people, in my own understanding, I think it's in discipline over the years that people now see as a normal way of life. I don't see anywhere in the world where people crosses the express. The pedestrian, yes, I agree that there was queue is because of the enforcement that government have just introduced into the system. And with over time, it's not as if those who killed in the morning cross over in the afternoon. It's a continual movement. But the point I'm making is that there was no stampede at that very particular location.
Are you waiting for a stampede before you think this is a problem?
I'm not waiting for a stampede. The point I'm making is that there was no stampede, but our people are not used to a system of confining them, except if they are constrained to a very particular. No, there's no way in the world that you cross the express. I haven't known. They have the knowledge that a lot of people have died in the process, and a lot of people have been knocked down by coming vehicles. Even the time they spent in waving to coming vehicles could be used to queue and get to the other side.
I'm going to go back to your word. The word you used was constrained. Unless people are constrained.
Yes, by law enforcement agency.
Unless people are constrained. You've just painted the coloration of democracy.
Pedestrians.
You just painted the coloration of democracy in Lagos State. Yes. And you want people constrained without taking into cognizance their responses, their reactions to this. You don't think it's fair?
Yes, they reacted. The Commissioner of Information, on behalf of the governor, has announced for the need for another reconstruction of a pedestrian at Ojota, purposely to ease the human trafficking. Human trafficking in the context of what we are discussing, that there should be an alternative human pedestrian bridge at Ojota.
Okay, let me bring Honorable Idimogu into this context now. Under your constituency, there are lots, in fact, the Oshodi axis has a lot of people moving across the express, even when you still have pedestrian bridges generally. Yeah. What is the House of Assembly doing in that regard first, in trying to help to enforce the law?
Well, the House is doing its best, and but the issue is that most Nigerians, Lagosians in particular, were indisciplined. Even sometimes I watch before me how people cross these roads, despite the fact that even the pedestrian bridge are empty, and they will cross it irrespective of the risks they are taking. So it's not funny. And I may say, like, let me just go to the Ojota. I'll come back to the. I just believe that with the population that is coming into Lagos, I think the government also, we are all humans. We cannot provide all the solution at the same time. I believe with what is happening, like he said, there is a need for a second pedestrian bridge at Ojota so that it can ease this traffic that is occurring. And besides, I also believe it's just that at times even the people that applies the road, the drivers, if assuming is where we are disciplined and we obey traffic signs, things like zebra crossing would have even eased some of this pressure. If you put it, those that cannot immediately cross through the pedestrian bridge can take zebra crossing and cross over without risking their life. But it's very funny, by the time you even put your leg in any zebra crossing, that's even when the guy that is coming will be coming with speed. You say, what is going on? You understand? Coming to Oshodi, in fact, Oshodi, the challenge I have there, Oshodi, particularly Oshodi, Apapa Expressway, though you know it belongs to the federal government, but I'm also happy today the party that control Lagos State also control the federal level, so they are equal. So the Lagos State government can as well, in respect of the fact that that road belongs to the federal government, do some palliative measure, which I believe the amiable governor will have a listening ear and will do it. Because even right from Itire, if you watch Itire Road, if you have passed through Itire, between Itire and Yanisolo and Bale, very close to Sele, the other side, the route, let's say from Maitu coming to Ushudi, is a death trap. Sincerely,
right.
yes,
Honorable, we'll just hold your thought. We'll have a lot to talk about really this morning. Well, our correspondent Femi Akonde is at the Ojota footbridge now to walk us through exactly what is going on as we speak. Hello, Femi, it's over to you. It's over to you, Femi. We can hear you.
All right, Femi, if you're there, tell us what's going on there right now.
Okay. The patience of Lagosians it's been tested at the pedestrian bridge here in Ojota. People have to queue for hours before they can get to the foot of the bridge to use the bridge to cross to the other side. The queue stretches from the foot of the bridge down into Ogudu Road. That is more than 200 meters, and this is what Lagosians go through every weekday when on their way to work. First, they would have to first contend with the long queues before they climb the bridge, before going to face the notorious Lagos traffic. And most times during weekdays, the traffic is usually at its peak. And this has caused tempers to flare here at the Ojota Pedestrian Bridge. People are really not pleased with having to wait this long just to use the bridge. And even using the bridge again, it's really another tough task for many people. The stairs of the bridge are really very steep. People complain that the bridge is also, the structure of the bridge has so many defects, and they are not really happy, and they are hoping that the Lagos State government would really urgently attend to their plight. I'll be talking to one or two people now to hear what they have, to share their experiences about using this bridge every day. Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How long have you been on this queue? What's it been
past
like?
40 minutes. I think the best thing for the government to do now is to bust the other end so that the queue can reduce. I've been here for the past 40 minutes now. We can't keep going like this. Is this what they call change? And even they have to put in place 3 bridges here now for this queue to get reduced. And the first thing they have to do is to bust another step at the other end and at the other end. People coming from that end will be using the other step. White people from this end will be using here. I'll be here for the past 40 minutes now. What will I tell my boss in the office? Cannot listen to me.
Man hours are lost on this queue while people are trying to get to work. The human traffic on the queue again on the bridge is also something else. People are really not pleased with this situation, and
People are suffering. You have to make an alternative before all these things. Do an entrance to both sides, not only this side. People are suffering. Go to the Tehen, go to from Gbadebo. We cannot be suffering like this. We know you are making our own best. We realize that. But make an alternative before enforcing it. That is what we are saying. You don't enforce law without any alternative. It's not done. It's not done.
An alternative, that is what people are asking for here.
Why will you block the road when you don't have an alternative bridge? It's a very, very blind government. He has no vision. I said so.
Alright, mommy, what's been your experience like?
It's the alternative.
Okay. You hear from Lagosians directly there. Femi, we're still coming back to you shortly. Now, Honorable Jimo, what do you have to say as regards the last statement there? Let there be an alternative before there is an enforcement.
Well, let me start by saying this. It was Plato in the Republic that said unexamined life is not worth living. The government has made a pronouncement that within 3 months there will be alternative through the Commissioner of Information and Strategy in Lagos State. But I still feel strongly it's as a result of indiscipline over the years. Somebody that said he spent almost 40 minutes in crossing to the other side.
No, just waiting on the queue, really.
On the queue. Yes.
From what he said.
That does not mean he should endanger his life by crossing through the express. So recently I was in Istanbul. The same thing happened and nobody is complaining about that. It's because we are not used to this part of attitude. To Nigerians it's new, especially to Lagosians it's new. They are just imbibing the culture because there is a serious demarcation between civilization and barbarism. I don't see why there will be pedestrian in general meaning in the contemporary world is a Latin that we emanated from Latin words that means walk away for those who are trekking using their foot to trek. There's no justification. If it has been appropriately enforced over time, they will have known that there is need for alternative. But it was not captured in the 2016 appropriation law, but through the contingency budget, the governor can still do that, and I still some of the things that will be taken care of in the cost there. So I don't see the reason why the insurance can. Where are they rushing to? The hours spent waving to coming vehicles to cross over, endangering their life. It may be out of ignorance or sheer laziness or desire, dangerous desire.
Yeah, but Honorable, it is obvious that that bridge is not constructed enough, or it doesn't have the capacity
to accommodate
the pressure of the population climbing that bridge every day.
Well, the governor has made, the executive government has made a pronouncement on that. Nigerians should be patient.
Yeah, but shouldn't they have been an alternative before the
alternative
comes up?
The alternative will not be crossing the express. There's nowhere in the world.
Okay, let's quickly chip in those who are physically challenged. There's no provision for that in that.
Well, these are bridges that have been constructed over time. Lagos have been governed by different people. These are bridges that have been constructed during the last century. When I mean the last century, I mean from 20th century downward. But the contemporary bridges, go and check. There are facilities for those who are handicapped, those who are physically challenged, and others.
All right, let me bring Honorable.
It is only in Lagos that you can get 20 to 30 bridges constructed all over Lagos. Of course, Lagos is a city-state. There is no state in the federation, at where now, that has more than 4 or 5 bridges. You can make your research.
Okay, Honorable Dumogu, is it obvious that Lagos State has been overwhelmed by the challenge of ensuring or enforcement of rules and regulations?
When you say it's not just Lagos State, it's a general problem we face, most of us Nigerians. Indiscipline, to note, is the word. We're not disciplined. Let me also refer, for now, because it takes a while for you to construct a pedestrian bridge, why not make an alternative? An alternative where you have policemen that can be controlling traffic from an end, put a zebra crossing, very, very key for now. Then later, when you now make those 2 alternative bridge that you want to provide, you can now close it up. Then it will ease this traffic we're talking about, and the complaint from people. Because the issue is that, of course, I can't get there and I spend 40 minutes and why did I leave my home on time? You understand? So no matter how we look at it, it's always better to have a better alternative, you understand, than what we are facing there. But for me, I still believe we need a second bridge. But before that second bridge, it will take about 3 months or 4 months or thereabout. Make a way how agencies that are necessary will control traffic for people to cross by. After all, the most important thing is the human beings that live in Lagos. That's the Lagosians. Let me take you to my own constituency, like you asked me. Already, like the House of Assembly graciously informed the governor that there is a need for a pedestrian bridge at Ojota bus stop. And that is why I know quite well that our governor is a listening governor. And not only that, like I earlier mentioned, at Bali Yanitire, we also need a pedestrian bridge there. The truth is that yes, Lagos is being overpopulated by Nigeria, and you cannot prevent people from coming to Lagos. The big challenge, and I know quite well again that there is constraint as regards resources, but I think the governor is doing well, but I know he can still do better. All Nigerians want, Lagosians in particular, give them alternative. It's just what we are seeing there, but I know there are some other pedestrian bridges that people don't use.
Okay.
Airport Road is there. You find it, the pressure is not, but where you have pressure, let us as well try to solve that problem.
Honorable Jimo, before we wrap up this interview, you are elected by the people to represent the people, not be the mouthpiece of the government, really. And from what we've seen today, a lot of Lagosians are exasperated with this. What will you do to speedily, perhaps, take the recommendation of your colleague here as the majority leader?
I have a dissenting view over our express road, especially truncated road, like Ikorodu Express Road. The road he has mentioned in his constituency, they are federal roads. It will not be appropriate to put zebra crossing on the express. The alternative solution is a pedestrian. Pedestrian is for those who are walking through their foot to cross to the other side. That is the only alternative. But I've said it earlier that the indiscipline over the years have become normal. You know, when abnormal situation continues for over time, people will assume that that's the normal standard, normal situation. But it is important to see that express are mainly express. There is no justification in putting express, a zebra crossing across the express. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't befit the 21st century in which we are. And as I've said earlier, we are moving in Lagos Lagos is a cosmopolitan.
All right. Honorable Jimo, we'll still come back to this. We now have on Skype the Commissioner for Information, Lagos State, Steve Ayorinde. He's joining us now. Steve, if you can hear me now, you came up with the statement recently on the Ojota Pedestrian Bridge. Now, from what we heard some Lagosians say this morning, just a few minutes ago, they were saying there should have been an alternative before the restriction on the movement to use the bridge immediately.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's normal for people to complain, but I think what they need to appreciate, those who said that there ought to have been an alternative, well, what they needed to know and what they need to appreciate is what the government is trying to do. Are they saying that we should have continued to allow them cross, the major highways, or to allow traffic to slow down the way it has been slowing down because of the commercial buses that are picking, and dropping people indiscriminately on the express? What I'll say to what they have said is that, one, His Excellency the Governor has promised that there will be an additional footbridge along that axis. But of course, we have also realized, at least in the last 3-4 days, that if there is a better arrangement, an orderly manner in which people use the existing bridge, it's going to make a lot of difference. So we believe that between now and the 3 months that the other bridge will be ready, frankly speaking, we really shouldn't have so much problem. Like the Honorable said, a lot of people have gotten accustomed to doing things in the wrong way and therefore thought that it was their right. But we felt that the reason why we needed to put the barricade there, one, is to safeguard people's lives so that people don't cross the express. And secondly, is to ensure a free flow of traffic. Those two reasons were the reasons why we needed to put the New Jersey walls on that axis. And you see that it's the same thing that we have around K2 and Mile 12, and it is easing traffic. So if people are applauding government that traffic is a lot better along that axis, why wouldn't we at least conduct ourselves properly for those using the footbridge, so that life can be a lot better?
The new footbridges that you're talking about, we assume that the complaints of the people will be put into consideration. For instance, that of the physically challenged, the pregnant woman, with those special features be included in the new bridges that will be constructed.
Oh yes, absolutely. That was part of what we said in the press release that you mentioned earlier. Absolutely, the special needs of the physically challenged people, will be part of what we will consider pregnant women, the elderly. All those features will be part of the what the new pedestrian bridge will entail, definitely.
All right, Steve Ayorinde, Commissioner for Information, thank you for talking to us on TVC Breakfast.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Interestingly, many people have been talking about this, and I'm going to invite Wale to come give us a perspective as to what people are saying, how they are reacting to all of this. Wale, it's good to have you on right now.
It's quite interesting that we're talking about this Ojota Pedestrian Bridge. But I want to give you a little bit of historical perspective as to all this and how it's happening in Nigeria, the essence of footbridges. Okay. So let's take it on to the Baku. Now, in many parts of the city, pedestrians often risk their lives dashing across busy highways instead of using the footbridges provided for them, probably because many feel it is faster to cross the highway. The first picture shows the first pedestrian bridge in Nigeria, built in 1901. It was a steel structure erected near the Idumota Cenotaph and linking Lagos Island to the suburbs on the mainland. Let's move further. Years after that, many other footbridges were constructed, and the Ojota Bridge is just one of them. But there are stringent laws enforcing the use of the footbridges, especially when you cross the highway. And yes, these pictures tell the story better. Failure to use the bridge now attracts a fine paid to the state government through KAI officials. In the past, they have had cause to punish offenders, and the resultant effect of this is what you see here. Now, this is what you see at Ojota every morning. At least 200,000 people use this bridge every day. They form this long queue to take them about 42 minutes or more just to cross to the other side of the road. And that's not only the challenge. The Ojota Bridge has specifically become a breeding ground for pickpockets and other miscreants. And reasons people have to use the bridge: must they face this kind of human traffic every morning? And how strong is the bridge, and what alternative is available for pedestrians? Now, the former Lagos State Governor, who is now the Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, is quoted to have said that stiffer penalties be put in place to punish traffic offenders, and that might just include those who fail to use the bridge. That's what I have for now, Mike and Busola. I'm sure you want to further engage the lawmakers on some of these issues that have been raised.
Well, we've been talking with them on this, and they've said that government is trying to do something about that. We just had the Commissioner of Information on Skype, and he's also talking about the... my colleague asked him what will be the special features on the new bridge that will be constructed, and he said certainly it would take care of or take cognizance of people with disabilities and then pregnant women and so on. So we look forward to all of that.
I'll leave you guys to that.
Thank you. All right, Honorable Jimo and Honorable Jumogu, we don't have all the time, but how will the House of Assembly assist government in ensuring that, one, you mentioned earlier, the indiscipline where Nigerians or Lagosians don't adhere to over the years? What will change now going forward?
What the government has done now is part of the process. People have been constrained to use the pedestrian. Over time, they will be used to it. If you know you are going to be late to your office, you can as well get out. You can set out as early as possible to get over. But within 3 months, the government has promised, and I know as a lawmaker, and what has been appropriated to in the 2016 appropriation law that there is a contingency fund which will take care of this recommendation of the government. So I think the interest of the people will be adequately adequate, because the essence, as the constitution has rightly stipulated, the essence of governance, the essence of government anywhere in the world is for security and the welfare of the people. So if it is the yearning of the people that they need a complementary pedestrian, it will be taken care of in the appropriation under contingency fund, and as the governor has promised through the information commissioner, it will be adequately taken care of.
Okay,
but it's not a justification for people to endanger their life by crossing the express. Nowhere in the world that has been done.
Okay, but perhaps, Honorable Dumogu, there's some need for advocacy, some kind of behavioral change, so people understand where the government is coming from. Because, like you heard somebody mention just at the Ojota point, talking about no vision, perhaps the messaging of what is going on should be better couched to make the people feel at least they've been listened to. Don't you agree?
No, you are quite correct. I think there is need for adequate communication, advocacy, like you said, and more enlightenment. After all, the government is also trying to protect our lives, but that communication is very key. I will not appreciate where suddenly maybe we block the road and start enforcing. But if we do what we're supposed to do by letting them know ahead that between so period and so period, enforcement is taking place, and they will know it. But the truth, for me, even me, I'm worried as a person. I talk to people on the street. Why do you cross this road when you have pedestrian bridge empty? Beautiful thing. And even it also don't encourage the government, because these are resources that would have been used to do other things. You use it, and people is meant for, they are not using it. So it's not good enough. But I know with time,
Honorable Ojota Pedestrian, thank you very much for coming on the program, representing Oshodi Solo Constituency 2, and Deputy Majority Leader, Lagos State House of Assembly, Honorable Lumuyiwa Jimo, representing Apapa Constituency 2. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right.